Hi guys, so my name is Daymi and I'm an RBT student analyst. I completed my master's about 6 months ago, and I'm going to take my exam in May. If everyone here could introduce yourselves really quick, that would be great. Whoever wants to go first.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm going to take the exam in May also.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hello everyone.
Hi. Anyone else?
My name is Nadia, and I will be also testing in May. And I am a late bloomer, so I'm old. I'm 50, and I decided to change careers after being a SPED teacher for a little while. So I had my master's in SPED and decided to make the change because I've learned so much about ABA, and I loved it, and I figured it could be better for me to do and give a better impact on the children. So
Awesome.
plus I have a kid in the spectrum, so
Good. A lot of parents here on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Spectrum parents. I'm one of them too.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So my Zoom today is going to be more quizzing, but I'm going to go over the disclaimer pretty quick. I know you guys have heard it tons of times, but just want to make sure everything's clear. So the study group was created for and by students pursuing a BCBA certification. None of these leaders are BCBAs or BCABAs, and the discussions, collaborations, questions, and suggestions during the meeting is meant to help all members have a better understanding of the BACB 4th edition task list. However, the team leaders and all the other students are responsible for verifying accuracy of the information provided during each of the meetings of their own understanding. It must be known that in the field of applied behavior analysis, we must act in a professional and ethical manner. So, due to this, we have to make sure that we don't discuss any exam questions or any paid resources. Also, any client information or anything that's unethical to disclose. And if we are going to go over anything that are open resources or anything from any kind of book or article, just make sure you give credit to the author. My next slide is I want to give some announcements. Basically, 2 Zoom meetings that I attended in the last couple weeks, which was one of them was today. The one with Liat was amazing. The student study notes ABA Zoom that I learned so much from. A lot of you guys joined it, and I'm so happy you did. So continue to join whenever I find something out. I'm going to share with the group, so you guys can join if you can. And also, I attended another one with the ABA study group with Celia. She's awesome too. It was she was very knowledgeable. It was about assessments. She went over charts. She went over quiz, like some of her questions from her actual mock exams.
When was this one?
When was this one? This one was about 2 weeks ago. But I think I just started with you guys. I just made that group up when I was doing it. So I was like, I didn't share it right away. So, but every time I find something new out, I'm going to share it with you guys immediately.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So on the bottom of the slide, you're going to see that there's one coming up, which is tomorrow with the same lady, Liat. So if you guys want to check that one out, I'm going to share it with you guys as well in the chat. But it is actually tomorrow. And it's on inner observer agreement. So that one must be really good too. Liat is really good. I've gone to 3 of her meetings, and every time I go, they're super fun, and she makes it interesting. She is interesting. And then I want to give a big shout out to Erica. I don't know if she's here. Erica?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, for winning.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And for that, telling us about that Zoom, it was really good. Like, I've attended some of the rogue ones as well as the study notes, or as well as the ABA study group. But these ones are really helpful.
Awesome. Yeah. So I won by mistake because I had no idea. But she shared that I won the ABA Wizard. But I was like, the first person that reinforces my behavior is gonna win what I was supposed to win, because I already have the ABA Wizard. So, all right, Erica. Awesome. All right, and then the table of contents. So we've gone over Task List J a few times, and I think we have it down packed. But if anybody has any questions about anything on Task List J, we could go over it. I pretty much understand, and I wanted to go over what I learned that I didn't know before, that I learned because of you guys, and I give a lot of thanks to you guys for being part of my group and for participating and everything. So the biggest thing I learned was the difference between the behavioral cusp and a pivotal behavior, where the behavioral cusp is the person, the client is accessing a new environment because of the behavior they learned, and the pivotal behavior just being another behavior, just a regular behavior that's being learned. So that's the big difference. The big difference between both of them is just that the cusp is the accessing something in another environment. And then also the difference between a stimulus generalization and a response generalization. Before, I thought that they were both kind of the same, but I see that they are both very different. But does anyone else have anything else that they want to share that they learned this week?
That's what I learned. What helped me was the difference between the stimulus and the response generalization.
Okay.
So for me, it seems like with the stimulus is, I don't know, I guess more than one, like it's presented and the person answers the same answer, and response, it can be different answers. Is that correct? Sort of.
Kind of. Does anybody else want to, I just want to give some time for everyone to share. We have 6 participants here. If anybody wants to share the difference between stimulus and response.
I guess with stimulus, like they can present a red apple, a green apple, and an apple that's cut up, and the person would still say apple. And response generalization is, as I say hi, you can say hello, what's up.
Right. So it's different forms of responding for the same meaning.
Okay.
You can say hi, what's up. I mean, not what's up is kind of like saying hi, but it's like slang. And then hello. So there are all 3 ways of saying hi, but just in 3 different ways.
Okay.
Anyone else want to share anything they learned this week?
There was a member that I really like, that she says that she thinks about in the question format, like when you're facing a question from the test, she thinks about which one is the one that has multiple. Is there multiple responses or multiple SDs? If it's multiple SDs, then it's stimulus generalization. If it's multiple responses, it's response generalization.
That's good.
So I like that tip, because if they're saying multiple responses, also meaning it changed topography or anything else, then, and we can visually, like literally count it, then it's easier.
Yeah, I saw that. They said that they wanted to put the word multiple in front of stimulus and in front of response as a cue. Yeah,
I'm liking the word multiple, and I'm adding it to my own, the way I think about it, because the way I think about it, it's basically, if it's one SD and more than one responses, or in other words, multiple responses, then I know that's response generalization, and vice versa.
Yeah, this task list J is pretty much straight to the point. I was looking at like on J1 how to operationally define any kind of goal, and that's pretty much what we do. I mean, I'm sure most of us are RBTs, and as an RBT, even though I'm a student analyst, I do assist the BCBA with making the operational definition for goals, and doing assessments. I'm there with her, and she observes me and makes sure I'm doing it correctly, but I do all of that, so I kind of have experience you know, saying if Johnny, for every instance that Johnny claps his hand once in the next week, you know, all of that. So that's pretty much what it is. But now I wanted to see if we can figure that out with quizzes. So the first quiz we're going to do is for chapter 28 on Cooper with generalization and maintenance. And then after we finish that one, we're going to do a Quizlet quiz that's on task list J. It's kind of short, but I think it's a little tricky because I tried it and I had a hard time. But first we're going to do Cooper, okay? I have it open here. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. Okay, that's good. All right. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the first question is, this is the extent to which a learner emits the target behavior in a setting or stimulus situation that is different from the instructional setting. So this is on generalization and maintenance, guys, just to make sure that you guys know. And it's chapter 28 if you guys want to look at the book.
I think it's the third one.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, third one.
Does everybody agree on the third one? Setting, situation, generalization?
Yes, I agree. Could you move a little bit the where our faces come out? It's blocking a little bit.
I wonder if I can put it like that. You see it? Is it better?
You can move that on your own.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it me? I'm the one who needs to move it. I'm sorry. It was just me.
Oh, I was kind of my way. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, but thank
Okay.
you.
So is it, do you guys all agree with that? Setting, situation, generalization? Let me look at the chat box. Okay, number 2. This is the extent to which a learner emits untrained responses that are functionally equivalent to the trained target behavior.
Response generalization.
I agree with that.
Everybody good with response generalization?
Yes.
A learner's untrained but functionally equivalent response result in poor performance. This would be an example of. I remember talking about faulty stimulus generation on Sunday.
Yeah, that was on page 622, wasn't it, that we were talking about that?
Yeah. And that was actually something that everybody was very, we were talking about a lot because a lot of us didn't even know that existed.
Right.
And we were confusing it with this one, with overgeneralization. So
let's go with faulty stimulus control.
if everybody is okay with that, I would.
I'm good. Yes, I think so.
Faulty? Okay. All right. When a target behavior comes under the restricted control of an irrelevant antecedent stimulus, it is an example of.
Would that one be faulty stimulus control?
And the other one, over generous. I'm like thinking the same thing. I'm like, uh-oh.
I think that faulty and over generalization, they're very similar, but does anybody have the Cooper book?
I'm looking. Hang on.
We did go over this on Sunday. It was just on one paragraph. It was the second paragraph.
Yeah. It says faulty stimulus control. The target behavior comes under the restricted control of an irrelevant antecedent stimulus. So that would be this one. And the other one, let me go to overgeneralization. Isn't it ironic that we were talking about this the other day?
Exactly. Yeah.
What page was it again?
622. I never forgot the page number.
Yeah, because it was interesting that we went over that. We were like, what? What is that?
And who was it that brought it up? Who was
I
a
forgot,
brilliant
but I know it was Daphne's Zoom on Sunday.
I can't find overgeneralization. Does anybody know where overgeneralization is? Oh, here. A non-technical but effectively descriptive term refers to an outcome in which the behavior has come under the control of a stimulus class that is too broad. So we have them switched, right?
But wouldn't that be poor performance?
It says, with faulty stimulus control, the target behavior comes under the restricted control of an irrelevant antecedent.
Right. So that's for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then poor performance, because I know, for example, I've had a client where they call every woman mom. That would be overgeneralization.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless it's one of these two, I'm not sure. Does anybody know?
Well, it says it comes under the control of a stimulus class, so that would be it, wouldn't it? That's what I think. Guess we'll find out.
Okay.
Someone in the chat has said, Erica said, when the stimulus class is too broad, learners use the target behavior in the presence of a stimulant that is similar to the original instructions but inappropriate. Example, a child learns to say hello, so they say hello when someone asks a question. This is overgeneralization.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think the untrained one should be the response generalization. I just saw in the books, page number 620, response generalization. We define response generalization as the extent to which a learner emits untrained responses.
What page was that?
620, 620, secondary edition.
Okay.
So maybe chances that it should be response generalization. Maybe, not sure, because it is saying untrained responses. And there is also untrained. But that are functionally equivalent. Untrained but functionally equivalent, yeah. The definition is we define response generalization as the extent to which a learner emits untrained responses that are functionally equivalent to the trained target behavior.
Okay. Let me see the not
Yeah, please check.
desirable one.
I'll write for you guys. So if you guys
we have number 2 that we put response generalization. So
untrained response that are functionally equivalent. Yeah.
On the screen, I have all 3 questions.
Yeah.
Yes. But only the poor performance is a little different thing they added. So maybe.
Yeah, because then the poor performance will go with undesirable outcome.
Yes.
Response generalization. That would be the difference, I guess. Because it's undesirable.
Undesirable outcome.
Okay, so we're good with this one?
Okay.
Sure.
I think so, yeah.
We have
but
a hint. Are we going to look at the hint?
Where we can find the page? Can you tell me the page number where they mention undesirable outcome of response generalization?
Or we can look at the hint.
In Cooper?
I'll look it up. All right, see the hint?
Mm-hmm.
Generalized behavior change, definitions, and key concepts. That's what it says. That's probably where it is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Generalized behavior change, definitions, and key concepts.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Page number 622, they mention undesired responses. Response generalization occur when any of a learner's untrained but functionally equivalent response result in a poor performance or undesirable outcomes. So it is right, it should be undesirable, it is correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just got it, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, number 5. A contingency that operates without social mediation is referred to as.
Sorry.
I would think is generalized.
Operates without social.
That one's hard.
Yeah.
I don't even remember reading about it. Oh my God.
Because I think
Is it natural?
Natural?
yeah, natural existing contingency. Mm-hmm. Says,
But social mediation, it's like socialization, no? It's when you interact with other people. I don't understand. Anybody has
it's a
any
natural
idea?
existing contingency. Says natural existing contingencies include contingencies that operate without social mediation. And that's on page 623 at the very bottom and spills onto 624.
Okay.
Then that's it then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's natural contingency.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6. Choosing only those behaviors to change that will produce reinforcers in the post-intervention environment is referred to as. Would that be teaching loosely?
Is that the one that you teach in one environment, then go to another environment?
We went over it the other day with in Emily's. Yeah, spell with your visual.
Yeah, I remember.
Was it contrived contingency?
I'm trying to remember without using the visual, but we can use.
Choosing only those behaviors to change.
I don't think it's teaching loosely.
No.
No, it's not.
And I don't think it's relevance. We can talk about it with each of them.
I think it's contrived contingency. We define contrived contingency as any contingency of reinforcement or punishment designed and implemented by a behavior analyst or practitioner to achieve the acquisition, maintenance, and/or generalization of a target behavior change. From the perspective of the teacher in the general education classroom who designed and implemented it, the token economy in the previous example is a contrived contingency. In reality, practitioners are often charged with the difficult task of teaching important skills for which there are no dependable, naturally existing contingencies of reinforcement. Intervention.
Anybody else? Let me see the chat.
Let me see. Are we
What
looking at
page
the
do you
stuff?
find contrived contingency again? I'm a little.
Contrived contingency in 624 in the Cooper.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Well, from process of elimination, we don't think it's teaching loosely, right? And we don't think it's programming common stimulus. And
No.
I don't remember reading about relevance of behavior rule. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're in between contrived contingency planning and relevance of behavior rule.
Great.
You want to go with contrived contingency?
But the thing is that, do you guys see anything in contrived contingency that will let you think that it's referring to post-intervention, not having reinforcers?
Yeah, that's what it was. It says designed and implemented to achieve the acquisition, maintenance, and or generalization of a target behavior change.
Oh, good. You found it then.
Yeah,
All right, so let's go with that one then.
yeah.
All right. The actual amount of examples needed to be taught when teaching sufficient stimulus examples to a learner will depend on
I would say all of these.
Yeah, I was gonna say all. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
8. When using multiple exemplar training.
I think it's only response variation should be used. No, wait.
I think it's both. In the sense that that one is when you're teaching, like, for example, doing laundry in different machines, different type, is that what we're talking about that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a different SD, it's going to have a different response in the different machine. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm not reading it from the book. I'm trying to do it from my...
Yeah. Oh, me too. Before I look on the book, I try to do it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's a different setting, it's gotta be a different response. So different SD has...
But multiple exemplar makes me think of DTT, right?
No. What I can remember, let me look for multiple examples. Yes, you know what? You're right. That's the one that I keep confusing. Yeah, don't erase everything I said. Delete it from your brain. Don't let it confuse you.
Someone on the chat box said A.
Yeah, because you want to have different multiple stimulus so to present.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're all learning.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Including typical features of the generalization setting into the instructional setting is referred to as someone said D.
I don't know. Can somebody refresh my memory with teaching loosely? Excuse me.
I think it's the last one. Programming common stimuli. Teaching loosely is the one where you can teach the child. You can change the teaching by changing non-critical elements of the teaching setting. Like, for example, putting your hair up and the next day putting your hair down, or using red pen and the next day using blue pen.
Mm-hmm. All right, 2 more questions, guys. I only have 5 minutes. Shifting from intervention to post-intervention conditions can be accomplished by modifying would it be all?
I kind of like it, but I don't know.
I have someone say A.
Well,
I would say all, but I also want to say consequences. I don't know.
I think it's all too.
Well, let's go for it. We're running out of time.
All right. A guiding principle for promoting generalized behavior change includes.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
It's okay.
Can I say the third one? See? I don't know. But I also like the second one.
I was gonna say B.
Mm.
Anybody else? Because I remember reading this a lot in this chapter, least intrusive.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard least costly too.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it then.
Yeah.
I think it's all of these, but
Ooh, we're doing good. 1, 2.
Oh, we
Ooh,
got
it was all.
That's all. What's the other red one there? What was it?
This one, both stimulus and response variation.
Ah, you were right.
Ah,
I was right.
Yes, you were
Confused
close.
again.
Yeah.
and the other one is relevance of behavior rule.
God.
All right, guys, do you guys want me to open up another chat for the Quizlet, or are you guys okay?
Sure, it's fine.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, but we should go over this before.
Hey, wait. Email that to yourself so you can send us a copy.
All right, sounds good. I'll do that.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do one more video.